This video is powered by patrons. See the link in the description and learn how you can support videos like this. This is Claude. He doesn't say much, yet he has his story to tell. A story with thrills and spills, one steeped in crime, devoid of morality, loyalty, and very little love. To the onlooker, Claude is capable, dependable, cold, calculating, ruthless. He gets the job done. That's why he's in such high demand around the city they call Liberty. Soon enough, Claude will be on speed dial for every gang leader and ne'er-do-well in the city who needs a job done well. But below this calm but opaque surface simmers a rage, waiting for just the right moment to emerge. Before Claude's story is done, he yearns to achieve one thing. Not money, not power, not love. Simply revenge. I'm the Patient Wolf and I'm a video game storyteller. To me, video games are the perfect storytelling medium. Due to the agency we have in controlling these characters, they can immerse us and take us on journeys we remember for the rest of our lives. But with that agency, we also sometimes lose sight of the narrative that was created for us. My job is to find this narrative, curate it, fill in the gaps and highlight the moments that make the story special. Telling the story the way it's hoped to be told. Due to the time they take, I'm not able to retell all the video game stories I'd like, but on this channel you will find story and lore videos on Red Dead Redemption, the Assassin's Creed series, The Last of Us, and a host more. Check out the playlists I've made for you in the description. If you enjoy what I do, make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell for the next video, and if you would like exclusive ad-free access to all my work weeks in advance and support me in the process, you can do so via Patreon in the link in the description. In the meantime, I'm the Patient Wolf, and this is the story of Grand Theft Auto 3. This is Liberty City, and Claude is free. He didn't expect to be so. Claude was on his way to 10 years in Portland View Prison. The thought of that pained him, but not nearly as much as the thought of how he got there. Claude moved to Liberty City from out west with a woman, Catalina. Together, they slowly worked their way east, doing what they loved to do most. Heisting banks, stealing cars, ripping off criminals. It was their living and they were great at it. On arriving into Liberty with like-minded compatriots they met along the way, they robbed a bank once more. It went to plan, as it always does. They had their escape, they had their money. Miguel had the getaway car in place, and Claude had the woman he loved just ahead of him.
Sorry, babe, I'm an ambitious girl. Small time.
Through the piercing sound of the alarm, the screeching wheels of the two-seater Banshee escape car and the pounding throb in his head, Claude could only really feel the pain of betrayal. He trusted Catalina with his life, and here, on the steps of the Liberty City Bank, she had taken it. Now, here on Callahan Bridge, somehow, he had been given it back. The Colombian cartel weren't here for Claude or his fellow prisoner 8-Ball. They were here for this old man from East Asia. He had been detained by immigration and was being transferred. The Colombians took him. And they rigged the bridge to blow.
Some of the convicts are thought to have perished in the explosion that followed the initial attack. Identification of the missing felons were further hampered by an attack by computer hackers on police headquarters databases. With the Porter Tunnel project falling behind schedule, this disaster leaves Portland isolated from the rest of the city.
I know a place on the edge of the red light district where we can lay low, but my hands are all messed up, so you better drive, brother.
Claude had gotten to know 8-Ball in recent days while incarcerated. 8-Ball is an expert in firearms and explosives and has worked for many of the major crime gangs in the city. 8-Ball was going away for a long time. The police were so pleased to have caught him and so annoyed that he eluded them for so long that they poured hot fat on his hands, now bandaged. He won't be building a bomb or firing a weapon for a while, but they were now free with a fresh start. Portland is isolated from the rest of the city until they fix the bridge. Until then, they had the streets of Portland to explore, a place Claude would soon know very well. They start their new life in a stolen Kuruma, past the triad-ran streets of Chinatown, into the mafia-controlled red light district, to their new hideout on the border of Diablo-controlled Hepburn Heights.
Let's get off the street and find a change of clothes.
A place Claude can always come back to regroup, rest, store a car. As Claude slips into anonymity, his mind finds laser focus on what he must do now. Find the woman that caused him that pain, Catalina. But to survive in Liberty City, you need money and you need friends.
I know this guy. He's connected. His name's Luigi. Me and him go back, so I could probably get you some work. Come on, let's head over there.
Luigi Gottarelli is a member of the Leone crime family who run the red light district. Prostitution, cinemas, topless bars. Sex Club 7 is Luigi's base of operations.
8-Ball's got some business upstairs. Or maybe you could do me a favor. One of my girls needs a ride, so grab a car and pick up Misty from the clinic.
Hi, I'm Misty.
One of Luigi's many girls.
If you don't mess this up, maybe there'll be more work for you.
This is Claude's way in. He needs steady work he's good at. And if he's going to get a line on Catalina, what better way than working beneath the surface of the criminal underworld? But that's for later. First, he needs to impress the Leone family. At the club, a new job is waiting for him.
There's a new high on the street. Goes by the name of Spank. Some wise guy's been introducing this trash to my girls down Portland Harbor. Go and introduce a bat to his face.
Spank is a new synthetic drug starting to excite and grip the city. It offers a unique high that just won't quit. Popular with partygoers, allowing the user to dance for days. For most, it plays with their sanity.
All right, Liberty City, this is your talk radio show Chatterbox, where your opinion matters.
Spank, 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 spank. People say it's bad for you. It's not bad for you at all. Why aren't you talking? Oh, you think I'm strange? Am I on the air?
The Mafia don't condone its use or sale, but other gangs are making a killing, especially the manufacturers of this new drug. The Colombian Cartel. Claude is proving capable.
You're working regular for Luigi now, huh? It's about time you got a driver we can trust.
Luigi trusts him enough to start making introductions and sharing his new asset with the rest of the Leone organization. He's introduced to the Don's son, Joey Leone.
Luigi said you were reliable, so come back later, there might be some work for you.
Who in turn makes an introduction to the Don's capo, Tony Cipriani.
Listen, this guy ain't Italian and he's no mechanic, but he could get things fixed.
Claude is now a connected guy, and in helping the mighty Leone family, finds out just how precarious their power over Portland is becoming. They are under threat from the Diablos from the north, muscling in on their sex trade turf. The other Italian crime family, the Forellis, although not what they once were, are proving problematic to business. But perhaps the most troublesome, and the biggest immediate threat to the Leone family turf and bottom line, is the Triads. Once a petty street gang, they are starting to get organised, and their revenue streams are starting to overlap with the Leones.
Keep the engine running. This ain't a social call.
Mr. Wong's Laundrette is one of the many businesses that has long been under the protection of the Leone family, but the Triads were moving in.
It's a Triad ambush. Get us out of here, kid.
Back to Mama's restaurant.
The Triads think they can mess with me. With me.
What has teetered between toleration and contention for some time has just tipped into all-out war. The Leones need to make a show of force to stop them encroaching on their rackets, to flooding their neighbourhood with spank.
They want a war, they got a war.
Claude will be integral in achieving this.
I want you to destroy their laundry vans and mangle any Triad gimp that gets in your way.
Liberty City has seen huge rises in crime in recent years. How much Claude's work and the rise of the gangs has contributed to this is unclear. Carjackings have steadily risen since '97. And with this threat, the rise in gun ownership has gone through the roof. Companies like Ammunition are cashing in and popping up on every block.
I don't need to see any ID. You look trustworthy.
I had it with people whining about guns kill people. Guns don't kill people. Death kills people. Ask a doctor. It's a medical fact. You can't die from a bullet.
To win this war, Claude will take any weapon he can get.
Yo, my man!
8 Ball's bomb shop is also kept busy when a bullet won't cut it. The Leones have made inroads, but the war is far from won. Claude's contribution so far is rewarded, as he is finally introduced to the boss, the Don, the head of the Leone family, Salvatore Leone.
I see nothing but good things for you, my boy.
Praise indeed, the seal of approval from the boss. Salvatore is worried. He has seen the power shifting in the city away from the Leone family. And in this war, it's costing him both money and men, and their grip is loosening still. The paranoia, the stress is beginning to show.
Me and the fellas need to talk business, so you're gonna look after my girl for the evening. Hey, Maria, what were you doing up there? Whatever it was, I bet it cost me money.
Well, you don't think I hang around here for the conversation, do you?
Get in the car and keep your big mouth shut.
Hey, Fighter, let's go visit Chico and get some party treats.
While the main men of the Leone family discuss tactics to reclaim their piece of the city, Claude is entrusted with the boss's girl. It was a welcome change of pace for Claude to just drive for the evening. Despite being a pleasure seeker and far more talkative than he'd prefer, he felt relaxed in her company. She liked to rave, and with week-long spank parties catering for the spank fuel, there were many to choose from. The city could see the change that spank was having on its citizens, and clamping down with force was firmly on the agenda. Claude gets Maria away safely and back to Salvatore.
You know, I enjoyed myself for the first time in a long while, and you treated me really good with respect and everything. I'll see you around, I hope.
The Leone family meeting was concluded with a plan to action 2 things. Finish the triads, and to stick one to the Colombian cartel, growing richer and more powerful by the day with their spank production. First things first.
We're gonna finish the triads and Liberty once and for all.
First, an attack on Chinatown. Go in heavy and take out the warlords. Next up, with the help of 8 Ball, take a bomb-rigged dust cart into their gated fish factory compound.
So you can drive right in, park up between the gas canisters and get the hell out of there.
That will stem the rise of the triads for a good while. Now to concentrate on the Colombians. The cartel proved to be more elusive to the Leone family. They didn't encroach on their turf like the triads or the Diablos did, but their presence was felt in the sale of spank throughout Portland. And to Salvatore, this was the biggest threat to their organization.
The Colombian cartel is making spank somewhere in Liberty, but we don't know where. And they seem to know everything we're doing before we do. We got us a rat. There's a guy named Curly Bob, works the bar at Luigi's. He usually gets a taxi home after work, so follow him. And if he's ratting us out, kill him.
Claude is versatile. He can take things head on, but he can also be wily. He follows Curly Bob to Portland Harbor, the nerve center of freight and trade, feeding the city with everything it needs to thrive. And now, moored in its docks, is Le Cargo, a ship owned by the Colombians, responsible for the lion's share of spank production in Liberty City. There to meet their informant, Curly Bob, are 2 people Claude ached to see ever since that fateful day. Miguel and the former love of his life, Catalina. She really was an ambitious girl. And that ambition had seen her rise to be the head of the Colombian cartel, and due to her focus on spank production had seen the cartel become the most powerful gang in the city, a meteoric rise. Claude needed his revenge, but it could not be now. Too many cartel, but at least he had a lead on her. Right now, he had a job to do.
You got my stuff?
Here's your spank, squealer. Now talk.
Okay, every day they're losing men and influence in the city. Salvatore's becoming dangerous and paranoid. He expects everybody and everything.
And with loyalty like yours, what has he possibly got to worry about?
The betrayers leave. Curly Bob is a rat and Claude has his orders. The Leones now have a way to hurt the cartel.
I'm asking you to destroy that spank factory as a personal favor to me, Salvatore Leone. If you do this for me, you will be a made man. anything you want. Go and see 8-Ball. You'll need his expertise to blow up that boat.
The Leone family know the importance of Claude. Despite his non-Italian heritage, they are willing to make him a made man, part of the family, to ensure they stay strong. The explosives are prepped. Claude clears the way, 8-Ball sets the charge. The cartel's biggest spank production facilities sink to the bottom of Portland Harbor.
I'm proud of you, my boy. You kicked the shit out of those grease balls. I just got one little job for you before we can all celebrate. There's a car around the block from Luigi's club. The inside is covered in brains. Take it to the crusher before the cops find it.
Everyone is happy. The triads cut down to size, the cartel foiled for now, and Claude is to be a paid-up member of the Leone family. Power and respect was never something Claude craved or even needed, but it satisfied him to know he is a long way from the small-time guy Catalina left to die all those weeks ago. He was to be a made man, straightened out, with the time, the money and the resources to straighten out Catalina, Miguel, to get his revenge. That is what really mattered. On his way to collect the car for crushing, he receives a page. It's from Maria, warning Claude of a trap. The moment he starts that car, it will trigger a bomb. The Leone family wanted him dead. But why? After all he had done for them, all he was still able to do, Claude had been betrayed again. He meets Maria at the slipway near Callahan Bridge.
Listen, Salvatore thinks that we're going behind his back, so he was offering you to the cartel in order to make a deal. I couldn't let him do that. I mean, the worst thing is, it's all my fault because I told him we were an item. Don't ask me why, I don't know.
Salvatore's paranoia would get the better of him seeing Claude as not to be trusted. The question is, does Catalina know Claude as the man they requested as part of the truce deal, or do the cartel simply know him as the architect of the explosion? Either way, it's not safe in Portland anymore.
This is a friend of mine, okay? She's an old friend. It's so good. She's someone we can trust.
We better get out of here before we get more hysterical Italians wanting less friendly reunions.
They head across the water to Staunton Island, and more near Asuka's condo. Staunton Island, home to big business, commerce, money, and flash rides. Downtown hosts the corporate high-rise buildings that bustle with big deals and backhanders. North of that is the stunning Belleville Park, encircled with star-adorned hotels, a peaceful place to come by day, but a dangerous one by night. Staunton Island is also home to many of the most popular radio stations in the city.
Your attention, please.
Liberty City!
This is Head Radio.
But please, call me the maestro.
These radio stations are but a handful of hundreds owned by Love Media.
Remember, it's not a conflict of interest if we own all the radio stations in town.
Love Media is fronted by the real estate and media mogul, Donald Love.
Hello, my name is Donald Love. You're listening to a Love Media station. Enjoy.
Something of a celebrity in Liberty City despite his rumoured connection with the Leones and other sordid proclivities. Previously running for political office, suffering bankruptcy, but now flying with many successful businesses to his name. Although Staunton Island is where the serious legitimate money is made, it's not without its organised crime. The Colombian cartel have made their home in the north among the big high-rise buildings under construction by the Pan Atlantic Company. In Newport, the Jamaican gang the Yardies, led by King Courtney, make their home. And in the south, Asuka, along with her brother Kenji, are the leaders of another gang here in Liberty City, the Yakuza.
Let's take a quick break.
The best way for Claude to keep a line on Catalina and to know what's going on in this city is to keep his feet in the crime underworld. The Yakuza always need good men, but before they can accept him, he needs to prove to them he is no longer a Leone. The best way to do that is to kill Salvatore himself. After his betrayal, nothing would please Claude more.
News just in from the traffic desk. Repairs to the Callahan Bridge have been completed. Since the explosion, engineers have been working around the clock to get traffic flowing between Portland and Staunton Island once again.
He leaves Portland a sworn enemy of the mafia. He had warmed to the idea of being part of a family, Loved, respected, protected by friends. He won't fall for that again. It's all business from here on in. People are not to be trusted, merely a means to an end. For Claude, that end? Revenge.
I wanted to say something about these video games. They are warping our kids' minds.
Mission complete!
After the drama of another betrayal, it was good for Claude to keep busy, and the Yakuza kept him busy. He knows Maria is safe in Asuka's condo for now. He can knuckle down and just work. The Yakuza's interests on Staunton Island are numerous. They run protection rackets, hostess bars, have the amphetamine market cornered, and make a fortune from gambling. Kenji runs a successful casino in Torrington, one of their many legitimate concerns that are also extremely useful to launder the dirty money. Claude will do odd jobs in helping them grow and protect that money, collecting protection money, offing reporters and undue attention from law enforcement, liberating important members of their organisation, finding and stealing high-end cars for Yakuza business associates.
What's your name? What'd you call about?
I'm sorry, I'm Maria. You see, okay, I had this boyfriend. He seems real nice, but, he don't talk too much, so I really can't tell if he likes me. And he don't seem real interested in me. He's always working and hanging out with the guys. Say, you don't think he's like you, do you?
What do you mean like me? Well, what are you insinuating?
Despite Claude's impatience to settle the score with Catalina, he settled into a rhythm with the Yakuza and found a flow that allowed him to find calm and recover from recent traumas. This state was helped none more so than taking and driving cars through the city streets. Claude had always loved cars. He had a car shop back out west years ago. He knows his way around them. He's owned great cars, but it was far more satisfying to boost than to buy. And Staunton Island had great cars in abundance. For Kenji, Claude is charged with stealing a Stinger, a nippy two-door, good for drifting, a car favoured by the Yakuza. Next up, he is to boost an Infernus. Outside the stadium in Espatria, the Infernus is stupid fast, but an effort to handle at its top speeds. Finally, he takes a Cheetah, which doesn't beat an Infernus for speed, but handles so much better. Each gang favours a certain type of car, worn almost like a badge. The Yakuza have their Stingers, the Diablo their Stallions, the Mafia their Sentinels. That's the one thing he missed the most about being a Leone, was cruising in their Sentinels. Nippy, durable, and handles like a dream. There always seems to be one or two parked outside Salvatore's Gentleman's Club when he needs one. Salvatore won't be needing them anymore. The only car he was loath to boost was a Banshee. It's pretty and fast enough, but it holds too many bad memories. The car Miguel drove Catalina away in after her betrayal. And while boosting, Claude knows to expect the attention of law enforcement. It's inevitable. He doesn't want to get busted, so he's learnt just how to handle them. Unlike his last employer, the Yakuza's star was high and rising. They had stable, legitimate fronts, with well-controlled dirty money hiding behind it. But like the Mafia, they were concerned with the rise of the Cartel. And in Staunton Island, the Cartel was starting to disrupt business.
The Colombian Cartel have ignored repeated requests to leave our interest in liberty well alone.
They are also looking to form alliances with the Yardis, looking to use the gang's muscle and to sell spank on Staunton's streets.
Liberty City, arise!
Claude does his best to sour this alliance and disrupt its success. He attacks the cartel from a Yardie car to try and unsettle the relationship, while cleansing the streets of Yardie pushers. Kenji and his Yakuza are proactive in stemming the rise of gangs here in Liberty. They even have well-paid allies in law enforcement.
It's time you met our man inside the LPD.
Claude was to deliver this man's payment. They meet in the public restrooms in Belleville Park.
You must be Asuka's new errand boy.
Ray Machowski is one of the more corrupt officers in the Liberty City Police Department, but anyone needing witnesses or evidence to disappear know where to come. He also has the connections for the more lethal firearms that would become essential to Claude before his work is done. Ray's services cost, and one man has the money and a problem that Ray can help with. Donald Love is in trouble. The hyper-successful media mogul so revered and respected in Liberty City has a taste for the taboo. He has a discerning palate that is only truly sated by a particular cuisine, not rare raw fish, neither endangered animals. Donald enjoys and often craves the taste of human flesh. It's unclear if his desire for dead flesh stretches to the necrophilic, but his cannibalistic desires have certainly run away with him before. He has been known to hire people to steal dead bodies to consume, and in the instance he now finds himself, there are pictures circulating of a morgue party he himself hosted. Love engages Ray Machowski to destroy this evidence. Ray uses Claude to get the job done. Donald Love can use the talents and discretion that Claude exhibits in spades. He is invited to the Love Media building in Bedford Point to meet the man himself.
First of all, let me thank you for dealing with that personal matter.
It also seems they know someone in common. The old Asian man, being transported in the same convoy as Claude back in Portland, was broken out and kidnapped by the Colombian cartel for one reason: to use as leverage against Donald Love. This man was flown over from East Asia by Donald for reasons unknown. The cartel only know how important the old man is to Love and are keeping him prisoner until such time they can use him to their advantage. Donald needs him freed. He is of profound importance.
Go and rescue my friend. Do whatever it takes.
Another clash with the cartel, another mission completed for the powers that be in Liberty City. And this power has another business opportunity for both himself and Claude. To drive down property prices in the city, Love wants to escalate the gang war between the Yakuza and the Colombian cartel. Love wants Claude to kill Kenji, Asuka's brother, the co-head of the Yakuza. Claude would essentially be destroying a revenue stream. He received some good work from Kenji, but Claude isn't in it for the money, and he's done with loyalty. If he can escalate war with the cartel, it will only serve to draw out their leader, Catalina, his betrayer. Claude agrees.
Get a cartel gang car and eliminate him. The Yakuza must blame the cartel for this declaration of war.
As it was on Portland, so it is on Staunton. Claude is instrumental in stirring up conflict, but despite the Colombian focus on the Yakuza, they still have not forgotten about their leverage being stolen back. Love's friend, the old Asian man. The Colombians get wind of another important import that Love is having flown in. The cartel don't know what's in the package, but again, they know its importance to Love. The cartel take the package. Claude tracks it down to their base at the construction site in Fort Staunton. Claude finally comes face to face with his betrayers, Miguel and Catalina.
Who the heck? You! Hey, take it easy, amigo. No problem. We all friends? Here,
Don't be such
take
a
this.
pussy!
Hey, we got no choice, baby. Yeah.
We always got a choice, you dumb bastard.
Catalina leaves Miguel to die as he left Claude to die, but Claude has Donald Love's precious package.
So, the whore got away. You're not the only one that has a score to settle with the cartel. This worm killed my brother.
I never killed no Yakuza.
Liar! We are going to hunt down and kill all you Colombian dogs.
Please, amigo, don't leave me here with her, man. She's psycho, chico, man. Please, amigo.
Claude lets the war be the war. Miguel is in good hands. But Catalina has evaded him again. If she didn't know Claude was alive and well, she does now. She knows Claude. She knows he'll never let this lie. She puts multiple death squads out on Claude to take him out on sight. Working with Asuka, he takes them out before they can. Claude would help Donald Love twice more before he and his friend disappeared. He helped protect the old Asian man as he transported Love's precious package to be authenticated.
I want you to follow him and make sure both he and my package get to Pike Creek unharmed.
On returning from his final job, drawing the authorities away from the old man, they were gone, never to be seen again. Like many things in Love's life, it was a mystery why the old man was so important to him, why he flew him so far to be by his side. What was his purpose? Claude liked to think that the man was some kind of guru for Love, someone to steer him, Love, a man so flawed he yearned for a moral ballast to steer him away from his shortfalls, his desires and his greed. Claude hoped their absence is a sign of a man that has set a new course, formed a new life, and is free. Of course, it could be that the cartel caught up with him at last. In the Yakuza's war with the cartel, Asuka finds Miguel to be a valuable resource. Asuka's interrogation is bearing fruit, with the help from Maria.
Do we tighten it some more now or just wait for it to turn black and fall off?
And with Claude's help, they drive more nails into the coffin of the cartel spank enterprise. Catalina and her cartel are backed into a corner, and when arriving back to see Asuka, Claude finds out just what a cornered animal can do. Miguel finished off, Asuka executed, and Maria kidnapped. A note to bring $500,000 to the villa at Cedar Grove to make the exchange. He has the money, a byproduct of the work he has done. Claude likes Maria, one of the few people in the city that he was able to like. He doesn't want to see harm to come to her, and if $500K can get Claude in striking distance of Catalina, he'd do it. Claude takes the bridge across to Shoreside Vale. Shoreside Vale, the third borough that makes up Liberty City, the home of the Francis International Airport and where the rich rest and lounge in their mansions in Cedar Grove. Claude knows he'll be walking into a den of armed cartel. He knows it's unlikely that they will let him walk out with Maria, but he needs to end this.
The real question is, did you turn up to rescue Maria or to get me back? Well, I got news for you. Shooting you will be a pleasure, but dating you was only business. Kill the idiot!
Catalina takes flight, and she has Maria. They land inside the fenced-off Cochrane Dam crammed with cartel. Claude has accrued many skills, has access to many weapons, and sensing the end, has the adrenaline to finish what he vowed to finish that day outside the bank.
Get this thing airborne!
He breaks through the cartel and takes aim. Catalina dead. The cartel destroyed. Maria rescued.
We're gonna have such fun, because you know, I love you. I really do, because you're such a big, strong man, and that's just what I need.
What does Claude need? He has been focused for so long on the emotional state of revenge. Now it's complete. What does he feel now? If these past few weeks in Liberty City have taught him anything, they've taught him that he doesn't need anybody.
I broke a nail and my hair is ruined. I mean, can you believe it? This one cost me $50.
Claude is free. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons on the screen now, and if you'd like to see the next video in my Grand Theft Auto series weeks before anyone else, consider becoming a patron and supporting me and the hundreds of hours these videos take. Click the Patreon link in the description, subscribe to be informed of the next video here on the channel, and if you like this video, make sure to click the thumbs up before you leave. There are many other great story videos you may not have seen on the channel, and I have put them in this convenient playlist on the screen now that you can watch next. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this has been the story of Grand Theft Auto 3.